Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a wild one, because parked right behind me is something I never thought I'd say out loud, a Ferrari SUV. This is the 2026 Ferrari V12 SUV, Maranello's attempt to blend supercar DNA with everyday practicality, and trust me, this thing is anything but ordinary. The first time you see it in person, it doesn't really look like an SUV in the traditional sense. It's low, wide, and aggressive, almost like someone took an V12 Superfast and stretched it upward just enough to fit 4 adults and their luggage. The front end is pure Ferrari. You've got that long sculpted hood, razor-sharp LED headlights, and massive air intakes that look like they're inhaling the road. The grille is minimal, because cooling happens through all these clever vents and channels carved into the body. Every line feels functional, not decorative. Walk around the side and you notice how planted it looks. Huge 23-inch wheels wrapped in ridiculously wide tires, carbon ceramic brakes peeking through the spokes, and those classic Ferrari fender vents just behind the front wheels. The roofline slopes down like a coupe, not a boxy family hauler, giving it this fastback silhouette that screams speed, even when it's standing still. The rear is probably my favorite angle. Quad exhaust tips, an aggressive diffuser, and slim taillights that stretch across the tailgate. It looks more like a shooting brake mixed with a supercar than anything you'd call practical. Step inside, and you immediately realize Ferrari didn't just copy-paste a regular luxury SUV interior. This feels like a cockpit. You drop down into the seat instead of climbing up, and you're surrounded by carbon fiber, Alcantara, and hand-stitched leather everywhere. The steering wheel is classic Ferrari, with the Manettino dial right there under your thumb, engine start button glowing red, and almost every control mounted directly on the wheel, so your hands never have to leave it. The seats are incredibly supportive, almost race seats, but somehow still comfortable. They hug you tight in corners, but don't punish you on long drives. In the back, there's actual space for adults, which is kind of mind-blowing in something this sporty. 2 individual rear seats, heated, ventilated, and finished with the same premium materials as the front. And yes, there's a decent-sized cargo area, enough for weekend bags or a couple of golf sets, which makes this thing weirdly usable. Technology-wise, Ferrari stepped it up big time. There's a wide digital cluster for the driver, a central touchscreen that's quick and sharp, and even a passenger display so your co-pilot can see speed, revs, or navigation. The sound system is crystal clear, but honestly, you're probably never going to use it much, because the real music is under the hood. And that brings us to performance, which is where this thing goes from interesting to absolutely insane. Under that long hood sits a naturally aspirated V12, yes, a V12 in an SUV. Ferrari calls it an evolution of the V12 engine, pushing out around 800 horsepower. No turbos, no fake noise, just pure high-revving fury. It screams all the way to redline like a proper Ferrari should. Floor it, and the response is instant. 0 to 60 happens in what feels like a blink, somewhere in the low 3-second range, which is ridiculous for something this size. The 8-speed dual-clutch transmission snaps through gears faster than you can think, and the all-wheel drive system just hooks up and launches you forward like a slingshot. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels eager. Through corners, it's even more shocking. Active suspension, rear-wheel steering, and torque vectoring work together to make this big machine feel way smaller than it actually is. You turn the wheel and the nose just bites. There's barely any body roll, and you get this confidence that encourages you to push harder and harder. It honestly feels like a tall supercar, not an SUV. But here's the crazy part. When you calm down and switch it into a softer drive mode, it becomes surprisingly civilized. The ride smooths out, the exhaust quiets down, and you could easily daily drive this thing to work or take it on a road trip. It's comfortable, quiet, and refined when you want it to be. And then, one twist of the dial turns it back into an absolute monster. So what's the verdict? The 2026 Ferrari V12 SUV is not trying to be the most practical family car, and it's definitely not cheap. But it's for people who want Ferrari emotion and performance with just a bit more space and versatility. It's outrageous, it's unnecessary, and that's exactly why it's so cool. It proves that even an SUV can have a soul. If you love the idea of a V12 Ferrari, you can drive every day and still scare supercars at the traffic light. This might be the ultimate machine. Let me know what you think about Ferrari entering the SUV game like this. Would you take this over a traditional supercar? Or is this just too wild? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, see you in the next video.